Hello students, Michael Sanchez here with Jen.
Hi.
So our next video we're going to be doing today is Wohlfart number 8, the Largo. This is an excellent lesson. This is actually one of my favorites to have students practice and learn, being that it has so many things that involve doing good technique. So one of the things, there's actually a lot of steps and a lot of things you can do in this piece. So I want to start off kind of basic. So the first thing you want to be able to do in this piece is obviously the notes. So we're in C major, so we want to make sure we're playing low 2s. Now our 1s are not low like they were in number 6 and 7, so they're going to be in normal position, and then our second finger is going to be touching. We do actually have some different rhythms, which we haven't seen in a while. So we want to make sure we're doing the rhythm correctly, and there's 3 beats in each measure. So counting is definitely a something to practice. You could have a metronome set out, which is like giving you the clicks, and for example, for a dotted half note, there should be 3 clicks. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and the half note would be 2, 1, 2, quarter note 1, 1, 2, and so on. So you could kind of practice rhythm in this particular Wohlfart. So let's just go ahead, Jen. Let's do the first 4 measures, and then I'm going to mention some things about the technique. Good, excellent. So this is probably one of the hardest pieces, especially up to this point in Wohlfart, to get a good solid sound. If you're getting a bow bounce, you're probably one of the 99 other people that are getting a bow bounce in this out of 100. I think every student that I've had start working on this piece struggles with the technique. So some tips for you. We really have to go back to the bow grip. We have to make sure we're doing things correctly. We have our pinky curved, our thumb curved, and we're not putting tension up against the bow. If we do that, it's going to be really hard to do that long slur. So this has just got to be as flexible as can be, to where you could just take the bow right out of my hands. Okay? This finger, the index, the front finger, is what should be guiding the bow, telling it what to do, but it should be only this finger, nothing else. Everything else is just like jello. Okay? The thumb is really easy for students to jam up against with a thumb. That's just there to hold the bow up. It's not there to actually pull the bow. So this holds it up, this guides it. Okay? So having the correct bow grip is really important. Also not using your arm, so not going like this. See how my arm's going kind of like this? We want to extend and bend. So right here, this shouldn't be moving. Go ahead and try just the first 2 measures, Jen, or 4 measures again, and we're going to watch your arm. Make sure it's not moving. Good. Yeah, so she had a very still arm, and she was bending her wrist really nicely. Now the next thing, and this is actually what Jen could do a little bit better, is moving the bow more using the front finger. Okay? So if we don't use enough bow, even if we have a relaxed hand, but now if we move, even though it's piano, you can pull the bow more than you're pushing down, and you can still get a soft sound because it is piano, right? So now I'm going to do everything I just said, but just pull the bow more relaxed. Go ahead and try that, Jen. Just use a little bit more bow. Excellent, much better. Okay, and if, as you guys can hear, Jen's doing vibrato in here, and I think when you first started learning this piece, you did not do that.
No, and actually I still need to practice my bowing without vibrato, because once you add vibrato, it's a whole new ball game.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's like rubbing the tummy, tapping the head thing,
Ew.
doing two things at once. So everything we just talked about is hard enough, but now if we start to shake the hand, it makes it even harder.
Mm-hmm.
But that would be like the ultimate topping on the cake. Maybe right now you're not able to do that, but later down the road, when you come back to this piece, that would be the thing to practice, is doing consistent vibrato.
Yep.
So. And especially for sure doing it on the long notes, on the half notes and the dotted half notes. Okay, so plenty of things to work on in this piece. If you guys can see, there's also some dynamic things. So, for example, the second line, you see kind of a crescendo, diminuendo. So that part. So as I start to go up the crescendo is basically when we get louder, I start to use a little bit more pressure in my index. Start to push the bow down, but don't push the bow down with your arm or your back fingers or thumb, just the front finger. So if I don't press down, watch how it looks the same, but it's just all pressure. Watch how this looks the same, but now I'm just going to use this. That's all right there. Okay? Good, and then it gets kind of soft again, and then towards the end a big crescendo, and then it gets kind of crazy and does a bunch of accent fortes at the end. Alright, let's have you try it from the B, second line, fourth measure from the end, line 2. The big slur. Good. And all the slurs, you want like to conserve the bow, but at the end, just as much bow as possible at the end.
Okay.
Good. So you guys might have to do this piece without slurs to start, but as you start to get more used to it, I would try to add the slurs. That's what makes it really difficult. I'm going to do this from top to bottom. You guys can follow along at home with the slurs the way it's written. Alright, so thanks so much for watching today's lesson. This is one of those pieces that I would like keep practicing for a long time, kind of like your scales. I'm never gonna say don't do scales anymore. This is kind of in that same ballpark. I would say always keep doing number 8 because it's a good warm-up for vibrato even when you're more advanced. So, alright, thanks so much for watching, and email me if you have any questions, rivertownviolin@hotmail.com. Have a good day.